What's up, guys? So, why do people love their black outlines so much? Like, people really will live and die by their black outlines. So, first and foremost, there's lots of use cases, there's lots of ways to use black outlines. I use them, I teach them. I think certain artwork, comic book artwork, tattoo flash artwork, regular just black outlined artwork. Using lines is essential in art, always will be, always has been. I love lines. So don't get me wrong, I don't think there's anything wrong with black outlines, but I do think there's something wrong with just making artwork and having the black outlines and not thinking, maybe my artwork actually would look better if I didn't include a black outline. So, I actually might, it's actually not bad to have sort of controversial titles because it does spark a discussion. Otherwise, no one cares. I feel like I make pretty decent videos. They do okay on YouTube, but once you have something that people get upset about, that people read and they get upset about, then they'll click on it and then they'll be interested in it and then they'll talk about it, which is essentially what I want. So I'm not gonna, I really don't mean to have outrageous titles. I know I usually don't, but I keep seeing so much that people just use their black outlines in their artwork and they're just so set on the black outlines, and honestly it doesn't make your artwork look better. Like, it doesn't add anything to the artwork. Like, usually it's subject matter and illustrations that are bright. They might have like bright colors, and bright is in like happy, warm, soft, those sort of things are mostly what I see on Facebook, on like the Facebook groups and things like that. But a lot of people do their artwork like that, and a lot of people use black outlines. I used black outlines up until the point where I was like, maybe I should try to color my outlines. But no one ever told me to do it. No one ever mentioned it. It was just something that I just always did. So this is the reason why I bring up the black outlines and why I kind of smack you in the face with black outlines are ruining your artwork. It's really just to spark a discussion and to make people experiment with their outlines, because it drastically changes the look, tone, feel of your artwork. And there's plenty of artists, professional artists, that use black outlines. So again, I don't have anything against that. But most professional artists that use black outlines are using it for a reason. Either their artwork is all black, either they do like comic book artwork, or they do a type of artwork where the black lends itself to the artwork and it makes it look better. That's the big difference. Rather than just like kind of coming up and using pencil and then eventually like doing black outlines and then eventually coloring. It's sort of like a gradual process, and a lot of artists will eventually go to, okay, now I want to do like shading, and now I want to do light sources, and now I want to do this and do this. Of course, not everyone wants to do that. It's your own personal style. But for me, like, my art just seems to evolve, and I kind of just go along with it. It's tough. I don't always like it or want to, but that's how I got into digital art. I was doing traditional. Eventually I got an iPad, and now I do digital work. Now I'm doing 3D work. So my artwork grows, and I just kind of go with it. And that's what I urge people to do. Experiment with different things. I know that people love their black outlines, but a lot of things, a lot of subject matter, it just detracts, because black outlines are very cold and they're very harsh. So if you're making like a cute baby's face, and then you have black outlines making the nose and making the lips and the teeth, it's not going to look, most of the time it's not going to look good. I'm sure there's some artists that can figure out a way to make it work, but there's no black lines in the face, so it is going to look very strange. Now you can change those lines and make them like a softer, maybe a darker reddish or like brownish color, and then adjust and then make the skin and then adjust the lines to sort of not be so harsh. Things like that. That's all I'm really talking about. And for me, it really elevated my artwork. Now, I don't want everyone to be like me or like my artwork, but I do want people to make this decision for themselves, like I did when I drew my whole children's book, then started realizing, you know what, this looks a lot more the way that I want it to look without the black outline. So then I had to redraw my whole children's book from start to finish because I had made black lines. Because I just never thought to color them. So this video and the videos that I made before are to open that discussion, because not everyone understands that you don't have to include black artworks and black outlines, black artworks. And it's important to know that you have options. It's important to know that certain things that you just might not think about are there and do make a difference. And sometimes it takes years to learn these things. But if you have people that are saying, oh, you know what, here's a tip, try this, experiment with this, experiment with this. It's easier to find your own style. It's easier to develop your own artwork. It's easier to start feeling and producing art that looks more professional, whatever professional is. But yeah, it takes a long time. I'm still evolving as an artist. I consider myself a professional, but critique is something that I went through in art school. I did 4 years of art school. Obviously, I was drawing well before that. But we did critiques every day. You critique the artwork, and the art teacher would critique your work and tell you things that you might want to experiment with or change or try. And the other artists in the classroom would show you things that you can change or try or do differently. And that just helps you develop. It helps you get better at what you do. And you know, that's what I'm all about. I just want people to produce the best art that they can and grow as an artist, because we all should grow as an artist. And yeah, to be honest, I feel a lot of artists can move away from the black outlines, because once you make black outlines, it affects your shadows, it affects your light sources, it affects your facial features. But obviously, if you want to be a comic book artist, it doesn't matter. Learn how to do that better, and that's great, and that's fine. And I'm not saying to move away from that, but I don't really see too many comic book artists in the Facebook groups. And the reason why I'm kind of pointing this to the Facebook groups is because that's where most people are upset and will post all of their artwork with their black outlines. And I'm sitting here like, that would look so much better if it didn't have black outlines. They never usually have a background, because if you add a background, then are you going to have a black outline around the sun, or are you just going to make a yellow sun? Are you going to have a black outline around like the trees and the tree branches? The reason that looks weird, you know, again, unless of course your style of artwork is just outlined shapes, then it doesn't matter, because that's what the artwork is. But you know, if you're using color and you're painting it to some degree, unless it's just really flat, those really flat cartoony type paintings, then you have to outline everything, or else like why would you outline the subject if things in the background aren't outlined in black? So it just kind of pigeonholes you to a certain style, and it can be hard to move past. So, but yeah, I mean, this is open for discussion. If you still think that I'm clickbaity, that's fine. But, you know, back it up. You know, show me your artwork. You can come to my group and you can say like, oh, you know, people are, I want to make a post about black lines. I think that black lines are great, and I don't think that they stunt people's artwork. Then I'm happy to hear it, because I like discussion. So, and I don't mind if people disagree with me. And I don't mind disagreeing with people, because whatever I say and whatever I teach and whatever I feel and believe, I am happy to back it up, and I'm happy to sort of go back against people that are, some people on Facebook can be really aggressive, like they sort of like, you know, want to get their torches out and burn anyone who kind of says something that's like, you know, that they don't believe in. But I'm happy to do that. You know, I'm a very reserved person, but I'm very happy with that sort of confrontation if I need to be, because I can back it up, because there are a lot of people that I know could benefit from what I'm saying. I've been an artist long enough to know that much. So, on that note, keep drawing, keep sculpting. I will see you all in the next video. And be sure to comment with your feedback or your suggestions or your thought process, whatever you're thinking. Respond in the comments. All right? See you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching the video. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll know when I do my live streams. Also, follow me on Instagram, DrugFreeDave, and DrugFreeDave3D for all my new 3D work. I have a Facebook group, Procreate tutorials and guidance. And if you're interested in having me as your own personal art teacher, then be sure to check out my Skillshare classes at drugfreedave.com. All right, keep drawing, keep sculpting. I will catch you all in the next video.